So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene for Nightfall at Amsterdam. The werewolf in you. Just werewolves this time. Where we will set scene on the Sept of the Riddling Waters. Where Grace, A, has to have at least one conversation. At least one. I think Runa threw her the beggy eyes. And for two, has looted an awful lot of bodies lately, and you know what that means? Some cash monies. So she has acquired a number of foodstuffs because there's no better way to make and retain friends than foodstuffs. Everybody likes food. So she has acquired many fine things, among them the kind of obnoxiously classic picnic blanket. And let's face it, it's probably at least 2 baskets worth of food hauling because and a cooler, because we eat a lot around here. We don't skimp on the noms. That's not how we do. So an undue amount of money has been blown on a number of foods. In fact, she would probably even have like foisted over some ingredients to Runa, like, do the potato salad again. It was fucking delicious, please, for the love of God.
Oh, Runa has done the potato salad. She has made an even. It's the size bowl this potato salad is in would be more properly described as a small vat, but it's the kind of bowl that you would serve a group of garu from.
It's even bigger than a mixing bowl. I don't know what to do with my life. But yeah, she has acquired many, many fine foods. There's everything from like actual sandwiches to in the hopes she can coax Eric out, there is actually like in the cooler so it doesn't go and spoil, is a number of like, she basically went through the meat section at the deli and was like, extends arm, sweeps down shelf, because it's just easier. And the prepackaged meats that are like, it's already all cut and fancy and definitely not cooked yet and will remain uncooked because Eric prefers it that way. So there's everything from the fancy, we'll call it fancy raw meats, to outright fucking like sandwiches, potato salad, God knows what else she has found and just shoved into the basket. I can clue you this: there is not a salad. There is no just big bowl of greenery here. We've got grass. That's about as green as this place needs to be right now. Though there may be a green bean casserole. You gotta love green bean casserole. But all the same, a big fuck off picnic blanket has been thrown out. Various people have been invited along, and she has just kind of flopped out in one of the open spaces on Sept. Initially with Runa, but certainly expecting and inviting more, kind of gesturing over, like, come on, you know you want to. Look, there's food. Look, I even brought barbecue. And, yeah, has set out. The cooler is nearby with the uncooked meats and beer. So much beer. And she will be plopped out, cracking open a can, and just kind of like poking around the little the various packaged or arranged foods on their nice little plates and whatnot. Like, this goes here. No, it goes maybe here. Yes, that is perfect. Yes.
And Runa will be helping Grace lay out the food, and she'll say, so, tell me about this kinfolk you met." Does he have a name?
Oh, yeah, Belka.
And Runa will describe someone matching Balka's description, because she knows it. And you mentioned, how disarmingly handsome he was, and say,
I see what
that
you did there.
that Balka.
Probably sounds like.
Uh,
did you meet him?
Yeah,
She like stuffs an entire deviled egg in her face. She can give a shit.
we were. I was playing mini golf with some people off the sept, and I met him and went to the bar afterwards. And I totally blew it.
Oh, who in the world took you mini golfing? Like, and she shoves another like deviled egg in her face. Whole thing. Dainty bites are for dainty people.
I uh, I I told him I liked the smell of his cologne, and
He doesn't wear cologne.
I know.
Oh, Rona, honey.
And then
God damn it, guys.
I saw him. He took some medicine, put a little pill in his mouth, and his eyes were all over the place. He wasn't looking at me, and I told him if he needed help getting home safe and was high, I would make sure he got home safe. And that was, oh, Grace.
Oh, was it that bad?
He ran away like I was a stalker.
Oh, that's pretty bad then. Just kind of firm nod, like, oh yeah. Uh, do I want to? Do I want to know what else happened? It sounds. You know what? I'm gonna hold on. Like holds up the finger, like reaches over and like does the dramatic stretch because she doesn't want to get up to be like, I can reach the beer in the cooler.
Runa will reach in, grab a beer, pop it open. I I got my ball stuck in a trap and I almost really lost my temper.
You got your what?
The little bowl for the mini
Oh,
golf.
golf.
Yeah. That was
Sip.
and there was this woman there I met before when Isabel took me to the bookstore I wanted to go see. She sort of challenged me, and I think I took it way too seriously.
I mean, she like chokes on a beer. Was she? Is she kin or Gru?
I don't rightly know.
Then probably applying Gru shenanigans to normal people situations is generally blowing shit dramatically out of proportion. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go do something like that again with normal people.
Oh, what? She just kind of looks at her perplexed.
Like they're nice and all, and I just I can't do it, Grace. I can't make friends like I used to be able to. Not that I was ever good at it. It's just
Well, sure you can. You just gotta remember you're talking to people and not Guru. Quirks a smile. It's completely fucking different.
I don't know.
And you
Maybe.
usually gotta be a little extra nice because you got the little, like, does like the little wibbly fingers, thing going. Have you learned to, be, she like leans in and does the finger quotas, persuasive. It kind of helps balance out the wobbly, spooky shit. Just a little. Takes the edge off.
I have, but I don't know. It seems weird to use that on normal people. Like
I mean, you're not using it on people, you're using it on yourself, obviously. Sage nod. It makes you a little less ooky spooky.
yeah, I didn't think about it that way. I was kind of thinking it might give me an unfair advantage.
I mean, you also have an unfair disadvantage, so I feel like they kind of cancel out. kind of just looks up pretty frankly.
I see what you mean.
Oh yeah. Oh, and don't. So wait. So who took you golfing?
Oh, Isabel. Isolated incident.
Took you golfing?
Oh no, golfing. Oh no, she didn't.
Oh, okay.
I kind of went off and did that by myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sip. So does Eric know yet?
If he hasn't said anything to me.
Oh, then he doesn't know yet. As the group starts barking.
Rhoda just goes in. She goes in on the beer pretty heavy. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Oh, yeah. Because, if he knew, he'd probably be marching over that hill right there, right about 3, 2, and in direct line through the lake. Hey, guess what I just found out?
I'm on the way. No, Eric already knows. He's just coming down the hill. He was busy handling set business, but I'll put this in the pack link for what you guys are about to hear.
Oh my god!
As Eric is coming down the hill.
Oh, no.
If I see Terminator 2 music.
No, there you
it's
go.
even
He
worse.
definitely knows. Sage nod. Sips beer.
Oh no! Yeah. Well, but yeah, I deserve whatever's coming to me.
Oh, I sure hope so.
Someone pass me the Rose Room link, please.
Sure, buddy.
Like I said, link that fucking thing. You see the link that's in the side chat, so you know what's coming.
And I will say, meanwhile, as this debauchery is happening, you two didn't know this before, but kind of off to the side a little bit, sat on a rock, but not a very big rock, kind of like bench height. He's got a sword in front of him, and he's just slowly dragging a whetstone on. It's Gerard. Just kind of sat on the sept, enjoying the atmosphere.
And while in the background, a Get is marching down a hill. His peripheral vision will get tweaked as Grace spots him and does the flaily arm. When you're not necessarily trying to be subtle, or better yet, trying to catch someone's attention who's not looking, the flaily arm is the best way to do it. The big waves.
So, Eric, boom, 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 walking, sees Runa, comes up behind her like the fucking Terminator, like literally like the Terminator, and I will roll.
Okay.
Blowing 3 rage.
Oh,
Jesus! We alpha striking the baby today.
First hit. I'll roll damage.
Dominic will be seen walking down, I guess, the opposite side of the hill.
Dominic's right beside Eric coming down the hill.
Dominic comes in the other side for a flying dropkick.
Just watching, like, oh.
That's the first hit. That's 2.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Prep that soak, buddy.
Pop up next to Grace.
Ah.
Oh, I think he knows.
Oh yeah, he knows. You want a beer?
Oh yeah, totally.
Does the dramatic overextended stretch again? Because I can get into the cooler without moving.
Well,
Got it.
well, she soaks one of it.
Here comes the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's like swinging away. Grace passes the beer. There you go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh boy. And she soaks 3 of that.
All right, so you got 3. You took. How much did you take off the second one? 1. So you're on 4 on the third
Yep.
hit.
Oh boy.
I spent 3. That's 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. All over the sound with the opera music playing over it.
Okay, you said 4?
Yep.
Yeah, I soak none of that.
Yeah, so you turned
Ones
this
don't
one.
cancel, and so
Oh, you soaked one.
You only soaked one.
I
So
did soak one? Okay.
it still knocks her the fuck out.
Yeah.
So Runa, as you were like, oh yes, lovely beer, you just hear Runa! You know what I mean? It's poof, poof, poof. You know, like it's 3 punches that just absolutely send you catapulting over the fucking picnic table.
Oh, that was a fucking doozy.
Then Eric lets out a breath, like picks up some water and begins to stand over Runa and pour it slowly down over her face.
And Runa takes a minute. What? Ugh. Ow! I deserve that, but ow!
Oh, it'll grow back.
You have been sneaking off Sept without my permission.
Yeah.
Do you deny it?
No. I
Good.
didn't get your permission when Isolated took me either.
Oh, well, in that case, Grace, heal her now.
What? Like, looks at him like, wait, what?
You have a guy's breath, don't you?
Let me look. I don't think she does.
I think you do. I think you had 1 from the combat.
Oh, no, she smacked it on you.
Okay.
Your shirt's wet.
Very well. Then tomorrow you will report and wait here, and I shall beat you again.
Understood, Raya.
The next time, the 3rd time you attempt to sneak off, I shall tie you to a tree and use you as my beating post for the week.
It won't happen again.
No, it will not. And fuck it, because he's a big angry Fenris, and you've made big angry Fenris mad. Oh, Jesus. That is charisma intimidation, but I will demonstrate what's about to happen, and that's
Oh boy.
8 successes, because he'll lean down and catch Runa by the throat, lifting her into his cold, steel blue eyes. Because we have already had 1 traitor leave this sept and hide in the dirt. I will not have you sneak off unguarded, unchecked, and have my integrity compromised. Am I understood, cub?
Yes, Alpha. I understand you.
You just thump her down to the ground and then go and walk over her, you know, and go and sit down beside Grace with the big, like, you're the big wolf grump of, point made. Probably snatches the beer out of Grace's hand and takes a drink of it.
Yeah, it's like the hand starts to move to offer it. He gets it before she can even get that far. It's like, ooh, oh, there you go. Glance over to see how Gerard's doing on his rock. She's flailed at him.
Didn't even flinch. Just
Oh,
kept carrying on, just slowly dragging that whetstone across the sword. You can see he's got another handle strapped over his back as well. But still carries on. It's like, I'm minding my own business because that's an angry Aaron. I'm fabulous.
It's like, looks over. He hasn't moved. She thinks about yelling and then finally leans over to Dominic. You know, he's also screaming eye too.
She'll look at Grace. And he'll say, do you think we should get matching t-shirts?
Oh my fucking god, please.
No.
Oh, come on, that would be amazing!
Straight face like, no.
I hadn't even thought of it, but now that you said it, it sounds fucking great.
He grabs your nose. Stop now.
But that is my nose. That is my own private nose. I need that
Stop
for
it.
breathing and like patting at his hand, like yeah. finally flops around until she like legit just flops over to get out of the nose hole. Like, meh. Sits there and like pinches the end of her nose a couple times to make sure it's still there. Oh, it's numb now? Cheese?
He'll look over at what step do you come from?
Looking over to me.
Yeah.
Do you shout that or whisper or say it normally?
Normally.
All right, you say it normally. He doesn't hear you because he's a good, like, fair distance away. Not within distance, but you shout out. It's gonna be a slight shout to get his attention.
Yep. Raise his voice a bit.
He's in earshot, but yeah, it's used to shout. What step do you come from?
Yeah.
He looks up and looks around, looks at you, who's staring at him, realizes that you've acknowledged him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, puts the whetstone down. Actually, puts it in a small pouch on his hip, and swings a sword over his head to put it back on into its scabbard, and is mounted on his back. And he starts to walk over. And just for people that have not seen Jared before, this man's standing about 6 foot tall. He's wearing fairly dark leathers, generally just kind of common clothes with some kind of heavy walking boots on. He's got a sword that you can now see mounted on his back with the hilt just peering over his right shoulder, and another wooden handle appearing over as well, a bit lower down. He's got a slightly spiked up hair and a bit of a beard. It's fairly well trimmed, but other than that, he comes over, looks at Dominic, looks him up and down. If you are to address me, you can do it properly.
The slow glance from Grace with both hands in the cooler, like, oh.
He'll look back at him and get up to his full 6 foot height. Look him directly in the eyes. Dominic Frost Hamid, born on 2 legs, full moon, proud child of Falcon.
He nods. I am Gerard von Brandt, born upon 2 legs to the sept of the crescent moon. Galliard, Silverfang, Cleeth.
There will be a... What house did you say?
He didn't say a house. You didn't say a house.
So he'll look at you and then kind of say, "What house?" Glint in his eye.
I hail from House Gleaming Eye.
And then there comes the bro hug.
So kind of come on, Anthony, describe to me how Dominic embraces Gerard. How does it happen?
All right, so what's in his left or right hand?
He's not his hands are empty.
Okay, so he kind of grabs your right hand and comes in and pulls you close, and then there's like a head-to-head thing.
And of course, he has met this greeting before. As such, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers fist grip happens between the two of them as it shines brightly into the sky. He will throw his left arm around to the back of Dominic's head, and as their foreheads just kind of crunch together, that little bit, there's a kind of easing smile as he leans back a bit. So you're the Frost I've heard about.
And then there's a long whistle. Damn right I am.
Say, what brings you to this Sept, Frost?
I got a message from Falcon that there was some traitors afoot. That's when I met Hell's Hammer, and we dispatched them. And the rest, how should we say, is history?
Indeed it is, indeed. I can most definitely say it brightens my day to see another loyal, steadfast child of Falcon on this Sept.
There's another like broad grin as a lot of the stress that seemed to be like in Dominic's shoulders seems to sort of like ease away. Because seeing another like loyal Fang after he killed quite a few of them makes him happy. Oh, you want a beer?
Just kind of looks at him for a second. Slowly raises an eyebrow.
Mhm.
What is this biff that you speak of?
Oh, alcohol. What to say?
Yes. I shall partake in your hospitality.
Kind of reaches into Grace's like bag of food and merriment, tosses him a beer.
And merriment. The merriment in this particular case will take the shape of her finally extracting, like, you know, those little fancy cheese and meat plates people get? This one, there's no cheese. It's just various meat cuts, and it is all raw. And she just, like, boops that on the table, because at least Eric's there now. It won't go bad sitting out. Like, haha! Dunk! Is added to the already massive collection of, well, very eclectic collection of foods that are totally picnic food. Shut up. Plops back down with her new beer, shoves another deviled egg in her face. Like, yes.
Runa will get up and stagger back to the picnic and pick some food and start eating it.
Here, why don't you, she, like, reaches over for another beer and just holds it up. Why don't you, hold that against your, like, makes a gesture, like, to one side of her face, like, you know, just, got a little...
Yeah, she'll take it and she'll put it up against her head. Thanks, Grace. And she is making absolute sure that she is sitting, if not right next to Eric, within his eyesight.
Runa, I will give you this for free as well. You're also getting the feeling that you're being watched. And it's quite evident by Gerard just standing there staring at you.
Very subtle feeling.
Just
She'll,
holding this kind of beer in one hand, just staring.
She'll get down on one knee, show the proper respect. My name is Runa Sorensen. Half moon, born on 2 legs, to the Geta Fenris, cub in the nation.
He just slowly nods. Now I am Gerard von Brandt of the Silverfang tribe, born upon 2 legs, Galliard, Plieth. At ease, cub.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Raya. She'll get back up, sit back down.
Now, Dominic, tell me of the heretics you have slain.
Ooh, story time?
Tap his chin. Yes. The the night that I finished my formal acceptance and rite of passage into Falcon's brood as one of his children, Falcon sent me a message. As proud and majestic as he was, his wings outstretched, he proclaimed that the members, the fangs of my once sept, have fallen from grace and majesty. But he saw different for me. He begged me to leave. It was supposed to be a joyous and remarkable return, being that I was the alpha of the cubs that were part of the sept and one the first to take my rite of passage. I left, no questions asked. I broke off into a run. It's when Hell's hammer descended upon me. He asked me who I was and if I was an enemy. There was a very unruly conversation. But as it was part of war and we were in fact on a mission, temperance was called for. We descended upon a contingency of warriors from the sept. Ah, yes, I'm forgetting something. Before that, a frost giant greeted us and said that the Silverfangs in the area were without honor and that he was supplying the incoming force with weaponry to cleanse the blight that had taken foot there. Rage stirred within my bosom, and we descended upon a group of individuals. Some might call them warriors, others might call them members of tribes, but they had long forsaken any such notable distinction. Myself and Hell's hammer, grace as well, descended upon them with grace and fury. We struck them down. Disturbingly enough, the traitor known as Rat said that she did not believe in the fighting that was happening and quit the field. Alas, but this story has a very bloody and, might I say, crescendo of gore and retribution. The man bore silver, the so called Pack Alpha, descended upon Hell's hammer, cutting deep in his chest. Myself and Grace and others began to fight to make sure that none was lost. Looking to Runa, if Rat would have stayed, if Rat would have fought, maybe Hell's hammer wouldn't have had to take that blow. But such, we are all called to Gaia's grand plan. We are all called to serve and we are all called to fight. And as we did, we fought on. And thusly we reigned superior. victorious. Quite a show.
Most excellent. And not bad even from an Haroon, if I do say.
Oh, well, I'll just have to kill a bit more than Hell's Hammer. He sets the bar high. Just get standard.
There is another matter that we must discuss. There has been further news.
Ooh, there has.
I will say, Ulrichsen Yaff. You require privacy with your pack. I will leave.
It is important for SEP members here to hear it as well. The privacy is ended now that I put my cub in line.
Then speak on.
Myself, my cousin Air Sigurdsson, Grace, and Runa ventured on scouting missions of sorts related to the body with all the runic markings found in the woods not too long ago. Upon our discovery, we encountered the body itself, avoided any, of course, human presences in order to maintain the veil. We encountered an individual near the body, obviously assessing it. Once he revealed himself, he was inhuman. Some tainted thing. We, of course, did our guide duty and engaged. However, from the course itself, 3 snake-like beings came through. One of them even reverted to a human shape. They were weak, and they fell beneath my claw, including the being that we encountered, like paper in a storm. However, the most intriguing part of this is that they reverted to ash upon their deaths. What is also disturbing, the kinfolk is one of the Magnuson kinfolk from the opposing sept. With Ayre's consultation of the spirits, it is believed whatever snake-like being knew his kinfolk. To add to this disturbing news, the weapon that was used to flay and impale this kinfolk was reportedly given by Ayre, had the scent of this Metis rat who fled the field of battle. From what the consultation of the spirits revealed, the snake-like creature which agreed to flay this Magnuson kin, whom they knew each other, already had the weapon with rat scent on it, which means one of 2 things. Either it was willfully given or forcefully taken. It seems that poison was used on the kinfolk. It bit into his neck, according to the spirits. Now, the question is, we have a location of Rat in the sewers from the right of the questing stone. However, we will need a more direct plan to apprehend her. As you can see, the threat of her either being compromised or indeed fallen is a grave one to the sept's security, as she has been on this sept many times and even has the location of a pack dwelling, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, whatever the thing is, she gives up. a wiggle of a finger, like in a circular motion. And like as she does so, like kind of shifts her weight to bring the hand up and kind of plops over until she like just lightly bumps into Dominic's shoulder. Not hard or anything, just dunk. And oh yeah, the thing on the sept. Anyone who's a member can lead in. So if they've got a hold of her, whether she likes it or not, if they can make her lead them here, well, then we've got a problem.
Myself and the other 2 Philodoxes examining the body. We did find bite marks that resembled a snake. But,
Grace, like, helpfully in the background, like, brings up the 2 fingers, like, hey.
but one of them, I believe he introduced himself as Brands the False, Shadow Lord Philodox from the Sept of the Frozen Forest. He seemed to believe leeches were involved.
Oh, he did bring up leeches?
He did. You're okay, West. You're okay.
Leeches.
Yeah, so there was 2 of them following one of the kinfolk in town. I think it's the same one I've been talking to, but I don't know. Says he dealt with it before it became a problem, but it's not good if they're sniffing after kinfolk.
Then he needs to be protected.
Well, I've
And
got his
these
phone number and his
leeches.
address. Shrugs.
And more importantly, the leeches exterminated.
Oh yeah. Points. Though she does glance over to Dominic for the sake of explanation, just to, be earnest in actually looking over. I'd bring him here, but I think he's unknown. And it's kind of a hard bomb to drop on a person, unless it really comes down to it. But I've managed to get close enough to him that I can be around him just fine.
If he's under threat, he must be made aware.
He's not anymore.
Not anymore, but obviously the leech presence in the city concerning our kinfolk is now a concern, especially if they have now ties to the Magnuson kinfolk. It means that they are, well, with the news of Rat's disappearance, I would not take the chance.
Oh, and yeah, they said she was in the tunnels, right? So I went with Balka to the place he works, the dungeon theater thing, and it's actually down in the tunnels. I mean, it's locked off from the rest of the tunnels, of course, but it's just big old barred gates. She kind of glances around, so it's possible they caught his scent that way.
Or he's under their thrall, and it's a trap.
I mean, I went down there with him. I suppose if there was going to be a trap, it would have sprung.
More to the point, I believe, since we've already shown that not everyone in the sept is filled with the same conviction, that playing on sensibilities such as this would be a viable and optimal tactic.
There's that nose wrinkle of like, I understand and agree with what you're saying, but I don't like it. Like the kind of like little kid, like, oh, facts.
Is there a way to tell if he's under their influence?
He will have worm taint. I'm assuming. They are creatures of the worm, are they not?
Oh, they are.
Well, then he will have taint.
I mean, unless someone can give me a little buddy to tell me off, or a Talon, or the like, can't do that.
Then who better than a member of House Gleaming Eye to root out Wormtaint? So the two Gleaming Eye were just like, yes, we're
Ugh.
ready.
Like looks over like, oh. Good point.
Runa does look kind of expectantly at Dominic.
We can try the old methods of straight up torture.
I mean, I would prefer not to torture a kinfolk. Maybe just putting
We
that one
won't
on the
kill
table.
him. We won't kill him.
That torture is still bad, and not what we do to kinfolk. Those are family.
But you already said that he's been hanging with leeches as he puts up his fingers in quotation.
No, I said that he had been stalked by leeches that were killed before they could fuck with him, and that his work puts him down in the tunnel.
What?
What?
Racist. Like,
What? What?
blinks once, blinks twice.
Oh,
We need to get answers. Since you are my sister, we will ask. But if his answers are insufficient, we will go to plan B.
you know, could Plan B maybe finding someone who could actually sense the worm?
I can sense the worm.
Okay, well, that that'd be
That's
the
why I
nice.
said ask.
Oh, that makes sense. Firm nod.
But if his answers are insufficient, ask again.
He's Fiannakin. He's family.
He is not family until he is proven to be family.
And
Points
if
at
he
the alpha.
is, and if he is, he will provide answers willingly.
I imagine Dominic just gives us the look over there called Mob Man.
Looking between them and then looks at Runa like, suddenly I understand all your woes about interacting with humanity. It's like, man, this epiphany I'm having right now.
Dominic just bro slapping Eric like, my man gets it. My man gets it.
Runa will look up. Doesn't Sea Dragon bless us with the ability, all of us, with the ability to sense whether answers are truthful or not?
I think the concern is more that the answers won't be truthful and that'll be problematic. Like poking our little fingers together, like, But I don't see why they would be, so it should be fine.
I'm not saying I'm comfortable with the idea of taking an unknown kin and beating the truth out of him.
I'm certainly not. Pokes a hand up.
But given the fact that he's unknowing, I think it's possible he might not even know what a leech is or if one were following him.
Yeah, exactly the point. I did mention to him to watch out for snaky cult people. I made up a big old story about some shit I'd seen and things in the news and things my friends had told me, and like waves her hand around. But he did promise to call if he saw anything like that or felt like he was in trouble.
Good. More to the point, do we have a way of tracking the other kin in the area?
Points as he chuckles. His creep chuckle. Like, pointy point.
Runa will look. I'm assuming that's a yes.
It will be dealt with.
We should not assume, not particularly with what is here. These leeches are obviously working with tactics to alter the mind and alter the perceptions. We should play this intelligently. regardless of our good intentions, that is what they are seeking to exploit. They are predators. Verify your kin. And if he is not tainted, then we will need to bring him here. He will need to be informed for his own safety. That is my order, Grace. As
There's
your
like the
alpha.
flinch. Like the, oh, there it is, kind of flinch. Okay. I'll figure it out.
Runa flicks a look over at Grace. It's a look of concern.
I mean, I feel like he's got a little bit of something going on. He's already, I don't know. He told me he sees odd things.
Grace,
What?
describe the conversation that you had and the interactions. Don't leave out details because now we need to know.
Oh. Okay. So, the first time I met him, it was out at the markets. There's a big old market street. They just sell everything. Like, literally everything. Dig fossils out of the ground in their backyards, apparently, because there's whole stalls of them. But, so I met him there, was just shopping, and happened to start talking, and, we had a nice little chat, and I caught on as we were walking and talking about the whiff of the, the Fianna, the little, the corners of the eyes, the face, it showed. And so we started talking about where we came from because I wanted to try to figure out if he knew. And I was trying to kind of fish for it without, asking outright. But he doesn't seem to know of any family of his that comes from the homeland, so I think he might be outright unknowing. He didn't seem to pick up on any of the hints. But we had a good chat and a walk. He went and got groceries, and we exchanged numbers, and, he went home, and I took a nice circuitous route back. And then, all of yesterday? Maybe day before? Day before. I was out at the fish markets. I've been looking for signs of the taint that the den father found in some of the fish he'd ordered. Apparently they get it in big old lots, like 50-pound lots, and all of these were tainted. So I've been sniffing around after it, haven't had a lot of luck, but I figured I'd give him a call and see if he wanted to hang out, see if I could, keep ferreting a little. And so we met up at the market and had something to eat and tried to decide on what to do, and I suggested maybe, seeing a theater was all nice and all, but it'd be really interesting to see, behind the scenes, basically get him to take me to where he works, so I'd know where to look if something odd was going on, know where to find him, So he took me to the theater, and there's an elevator that goes down into the tunnels. And it was mostly a lot of chatter about nothing, just what was going on. This is when I started talking about, the body in the news, and said, I'd gone by and seen where the body was, and all these rumors I'd heard about weird snake culty things, and because, the candles and all, kind of glancing over to Eric. And basically played up being a little superstitious and told him it would mean a lot to me if he saw anything like that, if he told me. He already has my number. And as we got to talking, we were walking around in the tunnels, and he did show me where, like, the gates were that lead off into the rest of them. But as we were walking, he seemed to get kind of lightheaded, was looking around funny. So we walked back and had something to drink. They've got, like, a bar there. I mean, he was just drinking water, but I asked about it, and he said sometimes he just sees things he can't explain. And I took him seriously, and we talked about it. He said the strangest things were the things that don't change. Because, when you're seeing odd things, you kind of expect it to change all the time, but when you've got a set schedule and sometimes the things you see stay the same, that's the stuff that sticks out. So she kind of, like, looking around, getting a little more stuttery as she goes as the fucking heresy intensifies. So,
I could beg, like, what?
So he was talking about this, and he said one of the things that never changed is he goes by one of the museums all the time, with a lot of the old art and whatnot, and it always just seems to kind of glow and be so bright. And so I pulled out this, and she like fishes into her pocket, immediately pulls out the little shamrock, little wooden carving that Eric did for her. And I asked him if it looked any different to him than it did to me, because, it's wood, and yeah, it's got a nice polish on it, though I keep, thumbing it over and scuffing up the polish and smudging it and all. And he thought it was real great, and like looking over at Eric, he thought it was real nice, and that said it had a lot of life in it, and that it kind of glowed. And then he said, that he's
Dominic looks calm. It's like it looks like he stopped breathing and he's listening to you.
She's just getting faster and faster the more it intensifies. And so he said, "Oh, sure, I must think he was crazy, and this was some crazy things he was saying." And I said, "No, I thought it was very, nice of him to talk to me about it, and that I'd take him seriously." And so when I started talking about, the strange things that I was worried about, he didn't call me crazy either, because,
Because he's a fucking heretic. Keep going, Greg.
And at one point, he said he saw, like, I don't know, like a big shadow of a thing that was moving like I moved, and I wondered if maybe he could kind of tell, but he didn't say anything.
Yep, take a point of rage.
Yep. All right, everybody. Let's all hold on to a book.
Everyone grab your butthole as everyone's taking rage and rolling. Yep. Fuck me.
The three of us who have to take rage and roll it. Everyone, hold on to your booties. Let's do this.
All right.
I'm thankful you only back up to 5 rage again, but hey.
Oh yay!
So am I. So let's have some fun.
I'm back up to 5 already. You spent 3. What is life?
So
rage roll. That's my
rage.
first rage. That's my first rage roll for rage 4.
So that's
this is my
second roll. So
this is my 6th.
Oh god! What is my life difficulty? Is 6.
Okay.
You want to
Gerard
push it a
doesn't
little
blow.
close there, guys? You want to push it a little close there, guys?
Oh, he's alright. Well.
I
I
means
have to
not
make one more roll now for Eric. There you go. That's to represent 5. Oh, yeah, I'm good still. But
I'm just gonna put that music back on. Hold on.
A very
oh no, it's a different music
Oh
change.
dear.
Let me go grab it.
A very telltale sign. A vein has popped over the bridge of Dominic's nose.
What?
You can see the fires of vengeance burning within Gerard's eyes.
The concern on Runa's face gets more concerned. She's doing a heckin' concern now. And she looks at Grace and she'll say, Did he mention having any other family in the area?
Yeah, all the family that we talked about were like either like he's
Damn well better.
a family member here in the city who was born around here, and he's got someone in the next town over who was, born around here. He didn't know about
Gerard
anyone
just
going back
slowly
anywhere else.
raises his hand.
Like, did he mention any specifics, like a brother or?
I don't remember. I'm kind of, guys. Dominic, you're kind of you've got a little like points at her own face, like you got a little something, like a bust fucking vein, like just pointing, like you got a little oh.
You see him smile, and you are seeing all 24 of his teeth.
Oh.
And I am fine.
Okay, you're fine. Absolutely fine.
So, by my understanding, this kinfolk been wandering around the city, infected with the plague of leeches.
No,
And these leeches have taken interest in him.
No, he's
And
always seen this.
suddenly, they have left
Great.
his presence. And he is seeing shadows move in the darkness, seeing things that do not exist.
He says he's always seen the things ever since he was little. It's not like
Yes.
it's some new crazy
There's-
thing.
Grace, he's trying to infect you.
Or is that what the
No.
leeches have led him to believe?
No,
Eric will raise his
stop,
hand.
stop,
Eric
stop.
will raise his hand. Enough prattling, all of you. It appears. He looks at Grace like, "Do you want to fucking interrupt me?" type stare. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the whole like she was told everything, and she's like, "Oh God."
enough. We are escalating matters that need not be escalated. We are understandably mad. Let us look at the facts before we assume.
Runa breathes a sigh of relief.
Now, Eric is mad. Like, that's in a room that's like, I'll talk to you later type of look at Grace. You know what I mean? Now, this kinfolk is obviously more than just what he says, well, the initial presentation. This warrants suspicion. The first, we need proof. We only have his ideas. Perhaps he is undergoing a first change. We do not know until we see the taint. Once the taint is there, then we may proceed with the simpler matters. But for all we know, he could be undergoing something related to the spirits provoking his change. I have seen it before in other guru. They see things, they change. We have all experienced things in the coming weeks before our change.
The rapid nodding as she accepts this explanation as anything that's better than heresy. Just like, yeah, do you know, maybe. Noddle, 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 noddle. So should I just
That I have not finished speaking.
deflates?
I will want proof whether he is clean or tainted before I condemn someone to die. I want proof. There may be varying degrees of innocence, but innocence is still innocence if the proof is there to see it. I want him aware, and I want him talked to by the proper people. What he knows, what he's seen, where he's seen these things. And I want you to, from now on, not see him alone. And if I catch you doing so, I will treat it as you are prohibiting an investigation done by us.
The mouth like did the opening thing and then did the closing thing as she, thought of something and thought better of it. Like, oh.
Check her.
Blink.
Check her for taint to see if there is no residual from being down in the sewers.
Can I finish my line of questioning?
Just nod.
Or...
So long as you are not roaring at each other like bonars. He sits there,
well said. Like, he was like, you know what? He makes a point. No stop.
Everyone's like, you know what, bro? Yeah, okay, cool. Just sits there very calm. Again, he's not. I wouldn't say he's calm. No, you can see the knuckles starting to tense a bit, but he's trying to be level-headed. Like that's what Runa's picking up.
Yep. She very much appreciates that. And Runa, for her part, is sitting very quietly, looking very uncomfortable, making fleeting eye contact with Grace, and then fleeting her eyes away somewhere else.
Yep, there's like the turnaround glance of like, oh hey guy on the other side of me, hi.
Back to your story, Grace.
Oh. So
Takes out a meat platter, begins eating.
just popcorn style.
Yep.
Oh god. So we talked about all that. He promised to call if anything seems strange. There was some good weirdness, accepting weirdness. Um, but so after that, he, the if I
Speak,
said he threw me
Grace.
the blue steel, would you know what I was saying?
Use words, Grace.
Grace!
I mean, just a little the flirting, and then I joked about putting on my war paint, and then
And
we
that's
ended
another
up.
fucking race.
Meanwhile, as the other two take rage, Gerard has no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
Yep. Eric goes to 6, but I don't frenzy.
I go to
good.
7.
That's fine. And
I may need to walk away for a bit. Oh wait.
yep, I'll just sit here, sip spear very densely.
As Gerard says, what does she mean by this?
Oh no, this is internal.
Oh.
He's the only one who didn't get mad though, so it might be obvious he doesn't get it. Like, I'll just sit here and sip my beer.
Dominic gets up from his seat, puts the meat down, looks at his alpha. Blinks once, blinks twice.
He will just nod, take the time to calm down.
I need to calm down. He just walks away.
Time to calm down. I will handle this.
I walk away. I am not good right now. Like, as he just walks off and just screaming and swearing.
The other Rue just gives the nod, like, yep. Oh, I feel you. He'll just look at Grace. I see. Is there anything else you wish to tell me? Apart from fucking the possibly tainted kinfolk.
No.
Looks at Runa like, you wanna fucking tell me something? You know what I mean?
Would you like to add to the shit pile right now? Sip spear.
Runa will clear her throat. I've encountered him too.
Grace slowly starts, like, it's that slow shrink where she might just go right under the picnic table if this keeps going.
He's not gonna go to 7 rage, but Runa, dear sweet mother of Jesus, does he move fast? But he's right in your face. Did you?
Yes, Raya.
Was this by her idea or when you snuck off Sept?
This was when I snuck off.
I see. And was she present? Looking at Grace.
No. He was with another girl. Said it was his sister.
I see. He lets out a breath, like the cub I will deal with. For she is a cub and she will be punished as a cub. As a child needs to be punished. Because she is young and does not understand. But you, looking over at Grace, you are Cleith and blooded.
And if Yana, Raya?
Is that your excuse that your tribe is careless?
I didn't say anything of the sort, Raya. But he's still kin. I don't regret trying to get close to make sure he was safe. That's what I'm supposed to do.
You are... Oh, Jesus. Okay. 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 Yep, that is fucking 5 successes as Eric like slaps the beer out of her hand and gets in her face. I did not require you to sleep with him like a harlot, or prance around and be careless and not inform me the things he was saying until now in front of a non-pack member and make my position look weak. I required you to do your duty. I required you to have common sense.
Taking care of the kinfolk is my duty.
Are you challenging me?
No, I'm calling you a hypocrite.
Roll initiative. Yep, roll
Yep.
initiative.
Ba-da-bum-ba-dum-bum.
Meanwhile, Gerard will sit here. But he is not her cousin.
No. There's
I
a
don't
moment.
think he's saying that out loud. It's just a thought line.
There's a moment where Grace says the word hypocrite, and Rona takes a step back, and she just puts a hand on Gerard's shoulders and takes 2 more giant steps backwards with him, so he's not caught in the however sideways this is gonna go crossfire.
As soon as Runa takes a step back, he kind of stands up. The 2 weapons on
So
his back kind of clanking together. Puts kind of like a knowing nod to the cub, and it's like, "Yep, come with me. Let's get out of the way. Let's step right. Here, this rock. I like this rock. I'm going to sit back on my rock." And you know what he does? He sits on his rock, draws his sword, pulls out the whetstone again, and just carries on of what he was doing before.
3 rage blown, resist pain active.
Jesus.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we're going
We're going here today, kids.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Trying to decide if I can afford to doge or not, because you're gonna have more actions than me either way. I think I kind of need to, or I'm just gonna get woofed in one fucking go. Let me check my shit. Just one off. That is an awful roll.
1, you said?
Yeah, just take off 1 success.
Three.
I don't soak any of it.
Did soak any of it? Did you not?
No, I did not soak shit.
3.
She eats it.
My rage 1 to hit.
Oh, hold on, sir. I was spending 2 rage.
Did you not use? Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Because I'm assuming you use your main action to dodge. So I just rolled my rage, and I'm assuming you're spending a rage. So.
Jeez.
1 to hit.
Fuck it, I'll tank it.
Two.
Took 1 of that one.
That's 1 more.
And then
my
on
second
that
rage
rage. Hey, hurry! I get this rage action.
Oh yeah.
You butt.
Do you? Because you dodged it.
I didn't dodge.
Oh,
I
no, you
tanked.
didn't. You tanked it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
Jeez.
Go hit me.
I am going to try to roll this and cry when it doesn't work. Want to say it's shot.
Are you hit me with?
I'm not hitting you with anything. I was trying to activate a gift. and failing.
Oh. Okay.
But no, she will She will use the rage action as, I mean, let's face it, he bolts up and she kind of braces herself, takes 2 knocks. And she was already like getting ready to go under the table. She just takes that action to like try to do a bit of a tumble under the table and out the other side. Get an obstacle. I'll do athletics just so I have something going on.
Oh, you're running away. Oh, Jesus. That's... Oh, no.
Ragabash.
Mm-hmm.
Escalation picnics.
The job is to not take the lumps. She's really bad at that part. No successes. Nope.
Cool.
She manages to like slide under and well, now she's trapped under a table.
That means I get advantage, right? Like,
I mean, there's a table in the way, but she's on the ground and can't really dodge.
so you're saying one, if I aim it, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd negate
5.
the negative diff with the cover of the table, but I can't dodge. I will not dodge.
I aimed, Katie. I aimed.
Okay. No, that's cool.
So, it takes away the
So-
4, so that's 6 success. That's 7 successes with the specialty precise.
What are you aiming for?
Your kidney.
It's like easily a +2 or +3, and there's no
I just-
bonus for her being prone if she's got cover.
Oh, then cool. I'll just take the +2.
That's still
difficulty.
4. You're still
Yeah.
gonna whoop my shit. Just
That's what I was
Jesus.
saying. That's what I was saying. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That is okay. I'm already at 4. Let's see. That is not how we do things in this dice roller. Oh god, she soaks too.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got one more action than she does. Oh wait, you just did that one.
I have 3. I've only spent 2.
Wasn't that
Oh.
you were going before me? So that
I've
was your
only
third
done-
rage action after I
That
did.
was my second. That was my second.
Okay.
That was my second. We've only done 1 round of rage.
We've done 2.
No, we've only done 1.
I
That's my
blocked.
second.
I thought no. Oh, that's right. That was the first one because
Yeah.
I ate shit
Exactly.
and then did dive. Okay, so yeah, that was your second. So yeah, do your third. Sorry.
Jesus, Katie. That's 2 to hit, just a standard hit. Jeez.
So it's 1. I'm pretty sure that puts her out, like right on the
Yep.
money, like right at 7.
He punches through the table, like the table nearly like buckles. Like he hits you that fucking hard.
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't flip it in the first place. So yeah,
No,
I believe
he
it.
came through it. He's 2 level of angry to focus. Is essentially you have challenged him, so he is going to put you in your place, and that means breaking a table. He'll break a table. New whirl on Runa then, and get up in her face. Are you challenging me?
No, Raya. No. I just wanted to be forthright about what I knew. There's more.
I am seeing this, and I do not appreciate my packmates hiding from things from me, and then insulting me.
I could tell you all now, or we could have the conversation privately, if you prefer.
We will have a talk, you and I, later.
Understood, Raya. About this
There has been
kin.
enough. My order is as it stands.
Yes.
Until proof is given, I forbid anyone of my pack to associate with them, or I will consider them in league.
I understand, Raya.
Anyone who wishes to voice such an issue, they know where to find me, and if they wish to issue a challenge for my leadership, I will be waiting.
Raya, there's something kind of pertinent, I think I should say. He takes medicine for something. I don't know what. I saw him do it. I don't know what kind it is. I don't know what it's for. But a little alarm went off. He took out a box and he took a pill.
That is the first thing you shall look for. Observe it, see if it is tainted. If he is under the sway of a wormish influence, then this might be a different matter. But until such time, he will be treated as with suspicion. And again, I am shamed enough for today in dealing with insubordination. I hope this was a lesson for those who think I am weak in my leadership. Look around, making sure that everybody who's looking can see. Like, I'm the, you know what I mean? It's that, like, Gerard would know what that is. You know what I mean?
Gerard's just minding his own business, but he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically like Runa stood next to him on his left, and he sat down on this rock. But yeah, he just doesn't even seem phased by what's happening right next to him. Just carries on with what he's doing, because as far as he's concerned, this is their pack business, and you know what? This whole investigation is their thing. I'm just a fucking nobody right now. I ain't getting involved.
No. Grace has gotten up but is all the way back over at the now busted table. Is crawling her way out and shaking her head and taking Glabro and working on wicking off the damage.
Oh, Eric storms off. He leaves. He's done. Can't be around anybody at the minute. He's too disgusted at this point. He's gone.
Runa breathes a breath she wasn't even aware she was holding until now. You doing okay, Grace?
I mean, I think Grace is a distance from you. The rock was a distance from the table.
She'll go see Grace.
But yeah. Like, no. Not even fucking remotely. She's eyeballing the table. She wants to flip it. But that food costs a lot of money. No. No, I'm not.
Runa will nod. What do you need?
Like, the mouth opens and closes. Because you can tell whatever it was going to be barbed as fuck. I need you if you'd be so kind as to package this shit back up so I can... I don't know. Might as well go beat my head against a fucking rock. Jesus.
Runa will nod. Okay, but
I'm gonna go climb a tree.
that seems like an excellent idea. Runa will point off. If you want to do a little sightseeing while you do that, out over there, there's There's some doves that are building a nest.
Thank you, Runa. And
You're
yeah,
welcome.
she shoves her hands down into her pockets.
Yeah, and Runa will start packing up the food, picking everything up, putting it away, getting it ready to transport back.
And yeah, Grace does a storm off of her own, little thundercloud over her head. And then there were two.
So what is Gerard doing?
He's just sat back where he was.
Just
Seems to have finished with the stone. It's back in his pocket. Just kind of looking down the blade from the hilt, just minding his own goddamn business.
Runa will she'll finish packing things up, and she'll look at Gerard and she'll say, I hate to ask Raya, but it took two of us to get all this stuff moved out here, and now there's just one of me. I'll trade you anything you like if you help me move it back.
He stands up, scabbards the sword once again, walks over, looks over the table. He pulls out a packet of jam tarts. This will suffice. Grabs a picnic basket.
Thank you. I appreciate the help, Raya. And those are excellent jam tarts, by the way.
Yes.
And she'll just kind of awkwardly pick things up and start walking back. And I think that's where we can end this.